Hi, we're the Den Games Cafe. I am Adrian.
And I'm Andrew.
And this month's event, which is on the 27th, will have the theme of sports and the Olympics. Now, this month, as well as the themed games, we will have two other sort of activities or things going on. One of which will be a Dexterity Games tournament, which Andrew will now tell you all about.
So unlike regular card and board games, Dexterity games test your physical skills. In the games we've chosen for the tournament, we will be testing our participants in their accuracy, their coordination and their finesse. So the tournament will be happening at 12:30 and will go on for approximately 2 hours to 2 hours and a half, depending on the number of participants. So these are the games we have chosen: Push It, Rhino Hero, and Lift It.
I just did lift it.
We want, preferably if you can sign up for our event, that will help us work out a preliminary amount of how many participants are going to be competing, but you can also sign up on the day. We're now going to explain how each game will work in our tournament variation, and of course we'll be there to explain it on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Push It is a game that tests your accuracy, your delicacy, and your judgment skills.
Yep, and the aim of the game is to slide your puck the closest to the jack. So in this instance, I would have won. Or at least out of this, if we had thought we'd have other shots.
Our tournament format will be head-to-head, so each contestant will get 4 pucks. In this case, one contestant will get the orange and red hue, and the other contestant will get the blue hues, which is the blue and turquoisey one.
Yep. Players will be sat opposite one another, playing either lengthways along the table, like this, or widthways, like this.
To decide who goes first in the game of Push It, take your puck to the edge of the table, in line with the jack, and then it's the player who gets the closest who will have first turn in the round. So Adrian gets first turn.
And once you've decided who's going to go first, you then arrange your pucks in front of you along the edge of the table. You don't have to have them fully centralised, you can put them one there, one here, but you're not allowed to move them once they're set. And once everyone's satisfied, you're not allowed to move them until the start of the round.
The aim of the game is to get your puck closest to the jack in order to score points. On your turn, you flick one of your pucks. You can either get it moving by just normal flicking, or you could do something more extravagant like judo chop.
Once the first player has taken their turn, as Andrew has done, as you can see, the next player hits their first puck, and in this instance I actually got closer to the jack than Andrew, and so it will be Andrew's turn.
Okay, so I then take my turn as I'm furthest away, and hopefully I can get a closer shot.
Ooh, nice shot. That is indeed closer than my puck, and so the player goes to me. In this instance, my puck is now far further away, and so I have the next shot.
That one
and
still
further away.
Yeah, still no further. So you still.
So I'd still have.
No, I don't have to take my turn.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, in this case, I believe Adrian is now.
Yeah, I think I have the closest puck. Yeah.
So in that case, I go next.
Nice, and as I'm the only one who hasn't played a puck, I go next.
And then final scoring is the puck that is closest, which will get 1 point. And this game is played best out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond just the moving of your pucks as close to the jack, there are other strategies you can deploy on your turn. For instance, you could flick your puck so that it obstructs your opponent, Therefore, Adrian has to try and flick his pucks around mine.
Or you can use your puck to flick your own puck closer to the jack.
Or you could flick your opponent's puck further away from the jack.
That is true. Or you can use your puck to flick the jack further away from your opponent's pucks. Now, when taking a shot, when you're playing the game, there are a few things that you're not allowed to do. One of which is moving your chair. You're not allowed to do that, so if you do move your chair, intentionally or otherwise, please move it back into the original position and then proceed to take your shot. The other thing that you're not allowed to do is knocking the jack off of the table. Now, if you do that, then you forfeit that point and the round goes, in this instance, to the other player.
In instances where once all pucks have been played, that you can't determine who is closest, and you're not allowed to bring a measuring tape out, you're only meant to eyeball it. In this case, each one is a puck's length away from the jack. To resolve this round, you would remove all the pieces and then you do a shoot-off. So both players have to instantaneously aim for it and the closest wins. So 3, 2, 1. Oh! So in this case, Adrian would win the round, and then we would start all over again. And again, it's best out to 3. If one of the players has 2 points, then you probably don't need to do the third round. And then just tell one of the adjudicators the score, and then we'll move on to the next game. Our next dexterity game in our tournament is Rhino Hero, which is a game that will test your ability to balance, to strategize, and your finesse.
Yep. Players will be building a tower of card, placing them on the placing them as indicated on the starting tile and as indicated. The aim in this instance will be to simply be the player who doesn't knock over the tower, because once you knock over the tower, you're out, and play will restart with the remaining players.
There'll be between 5 to 2 people in the tournament, depending on what stage we're at, and it will depend on competition day, how many participants there are, how the group stages will work in the final knockout. Each player will have the same 5 roof tiles to start with, so I'll show up close what each one does. One has an exclamation mark in the corner, which is take a breather. So once you place that down on the tower, your next opponent will miss their turn and therefore not be able to get rid of as many cards in their hand. The other one is a reverse symbol, which means, say players going clockwise, it will then go anti-clockwise. If it's 2 players, this card will not matter. Then there's one with the actual rhino in the corner. So if that is played, the next player then has to put the rhino on there and then build the walls, or maybe it's already inside the tower and you have to extract it out and put it up on the new tile. And the rhino sort of serves to sort of destabilize the tower. Then there's one in the corner with the symbol 2x. This means you're able to play 2 cards on your turn, so that, and then I can play that, and then I'll be able to place another wall down. This is a good way of getting rid of more cards from your hand. And then there is one other card you may come across, which is the +1 card. That means the next opponent has to pick up a roof tile. To play this game, it starts out with this base, the base floor, and further into the tournament, it'll be a harder one. This one, there's 2 walls. On the other side, there's just 1 wall. So, so it begins with choosing the player by a dice roll.
Which will work out that. If we presume that there will be 5 players, then each player will will be designated a number, so arbitrarily. So you go 1, then move around until we have all 5, and then roll the dice, and so number 4 would start.
Yeah, and if it's 6, just re-roll.
Yeah, And if there are 3 players, then we can do 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Then that way, if
so forth.
and so on.
So it'll be random selection of who's the first player, and then first things first is the first player would, using just one hand, they're not allowed to use 2 to build the walls. And then they choose which of their roof tiles to put on. So for instance, I'll put this reverse card, but it won't matter because there's 2 of us.
But if there were more, then that would change things.
And then on Adrian's turn, he would place the walls.
I would have to use one hand, not touching the card or the other roof tile, and placing it as neatly as I can do on the arrows indicated, and then select myself a roof tile. And I may choose to play the Rhino Hero, which would mean that Andrew has to place the Rhino Hero.
And because the Rhino Hero is outside the building at the beginning.
In this instance, it's fairly rudimentary case of placing him on the top.
So I'll put it like that, and then I do one at a time putting the roof tile on, and then I may decide to play a rhino myself on it. Oops.
That would be Andrew eliminated.
Yes, because
I win!
Exactly. So this is a nice simple game. It gets quite tense when it gets the tile gets quite high, and I guess it's whoever can knock the tower over who will go through. And it's sort of a process of elimination further into the tournament until we have our first, second and third place winner.
Yep.
The final game we've selected for our Dexterity tournament is Lifted, which will test your coordination, a bit of your finesse and how steady you are. So this is one of the toughest challenges.
Especially if you have a hook that doesn't stay attached.
No, they'll be attached on the day, but I'm just going to pick myself another one. Do you want to explain how this works?
With the way we're playing in the tournament, you'll be given a card. You'll be playing head to head, possibly literally, if you decide to play with the headbands. But typically, it'll be by hand. And in this instance, you will have to use the hooks to lift the pieces, or try to, and put them into position in such a way, and so on, to build the structure as indicated on the card. I hope you can see that clearly.
Well, in the tournament, there is no timer, but there is a hard time limit. So we'll give you a certain amount of time, probably up to 3 to 2 minutes.
We'd likely say 2 to 3 minutes.
Just for brevity's sake. We're not doing the full game. It is pretty much a head-to-head. First to lay that structure will win it, and then proceed to later in the tournament. The structure of the Lifted tournament will vary depending on how many people participate, but we'll be explaining that on the day. So when you would begin, we would both have our hooks floating above the circle, and then on the count of 3, we would then start moving it across.
That's right.
Yep, and then you'd make the structure, and then as soon as you have completed the structure, as soon as you've not only created it but gotten your hook out of the plastic pieces. So let's see if Adrian can
finish this off.
Even though he's completely had a head start before what I was saying.
Oh yes, I was just trying to sort of demonstrating the skills required. And I don't think this is a good balance. It's not going to balance.
I think you need to lift it up again.
I think I need to go again. As you can see, it does swing about a bit, which certainly does test your finesse and your control.
So, in the 2 to 3 minutes, depending on which difficulty card we give you, if you haven't finished, then we'll score points on how many pieces have been put in the closest correctness, and then the person who has the most pieces in position will win the round.
And as you just saw, that's why why the hook has to be out, because I had it, but the hook didn't come out.
There we go. And
there we go.
That is officially finished as soon as it leaves the plastic.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exactly as it is on the card. As long as they're in more or less the correct place, then that's it. So they're both stood aside, that's there and that's there.
And we'll be here to judge and resolve any disputes, but it should be fairly clear. So that is our Dexterity tournament to celebrate the Olympics in Rio and Paralympics, of course. And please do sign up on the sign up your participation if you can, but we will be accepting it on the day. It will just help us work out the rough format of the game, make the little league table so we can start working out the head-to-heads.
Yep.
And it'll just make everything flow a bit easier. There will be prizes, so let me see if I can fetch the prizes up.
Let's see.
That
would be in.
It was here.
You just had it, just one past it.
Okay.
Right,
So
there we go.
So essentially, you're looking to score points, and then there'll be a leaderboard, and then so there will be. Let's see. Okay, so third place will get a £1 snack coupon, which you can spend.
And second place will get a £2 dessert coupon.
And if you have the honour of getting first place with gold, you'll get a £3 coupon for desserts or drinks. We hope everyone enjoys this. We think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see you there on the 27th of August.
Yep, we'll see you there, hopefully.